Hey gaming fans, welcome to another video game review with Makahli. This time we are looking at World of Battles. World of Battles is an MMO RTS and it's a free-to-play model from a company called Frogwares. Now first we'll cover over what is an MMO RTS and how this relates to World of Battles. So World of Battles is an RTS in the sense that you control an army and the goal is to use your army to beat up your opponents. An MMO would be obviously multiplayer online, and an MMO brings in the massively portion of that. This video won't concentrate on the massively portion of that. That will be in part 2 once I've had a little bit more time to experience that part of the game. When you start up World of Battles, you then create an army and you can choose from all of the different race types. There are quite a few. You will notice there are some stunning similarities to a tabletop battles game called Warhammer here. In fact, so similar it's pretty obvious where they've been coming from in a lot of this. We have humans, dwarves, barbarians, Amazons, centaurs, which I didn't see an option for me to play centaurs. It may be because I'm pretty low level, or it may be that I have to pay them to unlock this. Undead, orcs, dark elves, actually, orcs and undead. Now, of course, I've gone straight for orcs because that's pretty much what I do in every game. As an RTS, it follows the standard simple procedures of paper, scissors, rock. Pikemen beat cavalry, cavalry beat archers, archers beat infantry. There are a lot of differences here, so even at level 6 I have unlocked all of these units. Units are pretty much given to you, or you can purchase them. You've got the choice of gems or gold, gold being income that you generate quite a lot of while you're playing games. Gems you only generate a small amount of playing games, and you need to give them money to purchase more. The whole idea in the long term of the game is to build up a selection of troops to choose from and then use them to build an army and then take that army against your opponents in team-based matches. So more commonly the matches are going to be 2, 3 or 4v4. There is a dueling system that they have recently put into the game for 1v1. Now to demonstrate some of the core gameplay, we're going to jump into this medium level arena. This is just unlocked at level 6 and it is a really good demonstration of some of the paper, scissors, rock elements in the game, but also how you need to use movement and positioning to still defeat your opponents. Right, to start off this arena, it is going to give me a couple of opponents here. So we have heavy cavalry and light infantry. Now I have to beat that with some selection from my units up ahead here. Now here we have light cavalry, which should beat the light infantry, and heavy pikemen, which will definitely beat the heavy cavalry. So this is the unit to select for this one. This is a pretty easy fight. Should make it. There's no real manoeuvring to do, so I should make it through quite quickly. I'm going to send the pike in straight away, and then we'll send them to charge in. Now up in this corner here you can see we've got a mana bar filling up and we've got a couple of spells. This spell does damage and this spell casts a defensive aura for your units, so that is a way that you can be involved in the battlefield as the battles are playing out. Along with that, the way you select your units is down on this bar below. So this is my light cavalry and that is my heavy pikemen. You can also select a unit and push control 1 or control 2 and that will assign the unit to 1 or 2, just like any other RTS game. Now the second fight should be a little bit harder to get set up. It requires at least a little bit of manoeuvring, but we have light cavalry and heavy pikemen. Now light pikemen and heavy infantry should be the way to take them out. But here comes the tricky bit. I've got to manoeuvre myself a little bit, and I did that wrong. So what happened there was the infantry were trying to get some form of charge in on the pikemen that was favourable to them into the flank or into the rear. Actually, I'm just going to use a quick lightning bolt just to make sure I win this one. but the heavy infantry themselves have the stand ground ability, which stops a unit moving through them, and that's how you stop a unit from getting around the side of one of your own units and getting the charge in into the flank or the rear, which is more favourable for the attacker. Right, this next fight brings us up against heavy infantry and light infantry. Now this is a fight that actually gave me a little bit of trouble the first time I tried this round, so I hope I don't fail for the camera. But basically we are going to be taking our own heavy infantry and light infantry. Same forces, so you do have to win by manoeuvring. Right, if I grab these guys and hit stand ground, nothing can move through them. And then I can get the flank charge here with my light infantry, so we should cut down their light infantry in good order. And once I've gone through the light infantry unit, my light infantry unit can carry on and get the rear charge in on their heavy infantry. Lightning bolt will speed this whole process up. Now fast forward this next little bit. Many units have different abilities. Something as simply as running or charging is often bound to a hotkey. The abilities are listed in the bottom bar on the screen there. So you can see it was manoeuvring that won the battle for me there, quite decisively actually, considering we both came in with the same force. So this next battle is light pikemen versus light archers. I only have one set of units left, and they are 2 units of heavy archers. Now archers come with this negative. They are negative 25% attack when in melee, so I'm going to have to kind of just take it in the face for this one. One of my archery units is going to have to take the pikemen on. I will fast forward through this fight because it's a bit slow and laborious, and I'll pop a couple of lightning bolts down as well. So this is a bit of a show of the combat and how the paper, scissors, rock system works within World of Battles. I also thought it showed off pretty well in a fairly safe environment. How your units maneuver and how you use a unit's special abilities really do actually help you make a difference on the battlefield. When you start the game you'll be level 0 of course, and you level all the way up to level 45. At level 45 everything is completely unlocked to you. Now recently they also added a further 15 levels into the game for those that were already at level 45. I believe that there weren't any extra unlocks, so they wanted it to make once you're at 45 that is your end level of unlocks and powers. In the early leveling process they give you pretty much 2 missions you can do per level, but you will need to do some form of PvP in order to complete the level up and get your next level's worth of against the computer missions. Most of the missions against the computer have some form of tactic in them that you need to employ to beat the opponent, which is kind of teaching you a bit more about the game. As you could see in the Arena Championship, it was a fantastic way to give me a bit more grounding into the paper, scissors, rock elements of the game, as well as manoeuvring some of my troops to get a better combat result. Now it's worth noting as well as that going up in level brings on other rewards, so you will have access to new units, access to new equipment for your units, the missions here, and access to increasing the amount of units and the amount of different units in your army. We can look forward here to level 10, where I get access to Master Battlers, which I'm not 100% sure what that is. My magic spells get upgraded to level 3. I can get the rank 1 upgrade to cavalry units, and I get another couple of missions added to the list of missions I can do. And so on and so forth it goes up until level 45, where you get the entire complete set of unlocks. So then we move on into buying your army. And as you can see here, I've got a few units. Some of them are gold, some of them are red. The red units are units that I've actually purchased. They are mine now. I can always have access to them. The gold units are units that the game's sort of given to me. Now these units, I have to rest I'll be able to use them for 10 turns, and then they'll have to rest for 10 turns before I can use them again. So for instance, my Wolf Riders here are now resting for 10 battles. Now I can acquire these Wolf Riders at the cost of gems. I can't use gold currency to buy that. Now you're looking up, I'm level 6 now, I've got 25 gems. Gems come very slowly early on. Now having a good look through the forums at gem income later, there is a lot of complaints that there isn't much gem income later on in the game. However, you can get gem income with real world dollars. So this is exactly how the game's monetized. You can see that unit that was 1,000 gems will actually cost me a significant amount of money to unlock for the future. I will also point out now, we can go to through to the hiring new units menu. As well as that, if I, for instance, wanted a second unit of Wolf Riders because I liked them, they fitted my playstyle, I would also need to pay gems for them. There is no option to buy Wolf Riders with gold that I've seen. Now let's move back to the army roster where I can show you how you upgrade your units. All of these buttons here are a different piece of equipment for your units that you upgrade with either gems or in-game gold. From what I've seen here, you can get the same sort of upgrades from the in-game gold items, so here for the most part you don't need to spend gems if you don't want to, but obviously you can use gems to buy nice upgrades. Now if we head over into the belt, the only way to upgrade the belt is with gems. Now I don't know that this doesn't change later on, but from what I can see here, it is saying that if you don't use all of your gems to upgrade all of your belts and all of your units, you're going to come a bit unstuck, or you're just going to have to throw a few dollars into getting these belts upgraded. You do generate gems later on in the game, and if we go down here into the impossible missions, here we go, 50 gems per mission. Unfortunately at this point I can only point out that I don't believe that these missions the rewards from these missions will be repeatable. So it's not like you could do some dailies to keep your gem income up to get away with not throwing any money into it. Now while we're talking about needing to invest in real world money, and this may become a sticky point for some people, you can upgrade to have a premium account, and you can see here on the screen right now these are all the benefits. I get extra XP and gold per battle, that's fine. 10% discount on all acquisitions, that's not such a big deal. I unlock all the unit type limits as if I was the 45th level. Now to me that's actually a fairly big deal. It means that in some ways I can skip leveling to level 45. Okay, there are some things that I'm still restrained by, but my army itself is not restrained. Now 30% control points per victory. I don't know exactly what control points are, and maybe we'll get into this in part 2 of this video. Here's the big one: Divine Wrath and Arcane Shield efficiency 115%. Now that's the magic spell that you saw me casting in the training game. These are spells that you're actually casting fairly regularly. If you don't have a premium account, you're running at 15% less effectiveness every time you cast those spells. Now when we want to step into the actual cost, if you're looking at 400 gems, 350 gems for about $5. One thing I've noticed about World of Battles is they are quite regularly running some sale of some form within the game. So I don't know guys, does this premium account option break the fact that this is a free-to-play game? Is this something that you would feel that you absolutely need to sub for? Or is this just something that game companies have to do these days? I'd love to hear your comments. That concludes what I wanted to cover in this video. MMOs are really big games and there is a lot to them, and I really wanted to do this MMO quite a lot of justice. The next couple of videos will probably be video battle reports. I am trying to get myself up to level 10 so I can really start covering off some of the massively components of the game. As always, feel free to like and subscribe, and feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Catch you all later.